If a man says these 5 things to you, don't explain. Don't argue, don't give him another chance. Walk away. Because the words he chooses aren't accidents. They're weapons. And when someone shows you their true colors through their tongue, believe them the first time. A man who disrespects you with his words is already telling you how little he values your worth. So don't wait for him to change. Don't sit around hoping for better. Your life is too short for poison disguised as love. When these 5 phrases come out of his mouth, that's your cue. Stand up, turn around, and leave. Because your peace is more powerful than his chaos. You are not here to babysit his brokenness. You are here to protect your peace. So when these words show up, you don't argue, you don't defend, you don't shrink, you leave. Fact. And when a man spits out poison, believe him the first time. Don't argue, don't beg, don't shrink yourself to fit his weakness. The moment those words leave his mouth, that's your green light to walk out with your dignity intact. You don't owe him your silence, your patience, or your forgiveness. You owe yourself freedom. Words are not just sounds in the air. They are the windows to the soul, the blueprint of someone's character, the rawest evidence of what they truly believe. You don't have to wait years to figure out who a man really is. Just listen to what comes out of his mouth when he's angry, when he's careless, when he thinks you'll stay no matter what. Words are confession. And if a man chooses words that cut you down, that dismiss your worth, that poison your spirit, then he is showing you the truth he tries to hide behind charm or excuses. Believe it. Because words reveal true character faster than actions ever will. People lie with actions all the time. They buy gifts, they apologize with flowers, they play nice when it benefits them, but words, especially the unfiltered ones, slice through the performance. When someone says something cruel, controlling, or degrading, that isn't a slip. That's who they are when the mask slips. And the worst thing you can do is explain it away. Tell yourself he was tired, he didn't mean it. Or it just came out wrong. No, it came out real. Those words were loaded, intentional, and chosen. Even in anger, the tongue reaches for what the heart holds. If his heart holds contempt for you, it will show in his words. If his heart holds respect for you, it will show in his words. The mouth always exposes what the heart hides. That's why words matter more than you think. You might tell yourself actions speak louder than words, but here's the reality. Words are actions. They are the seeds planted in your mind. They shape how you see yourself. If a man repeatedly calls you names, mocks your dreams, belittles your efforts, he is not just talking, he is chiseling away at your confidence. He is sculpting an image of you that benefits his power and control. And if you let those words linger, they start living in you. That's how words break people down slowly, quietly, and permanently. Think about it. Every insult you've ever received, every cutting remark someone threw at you years ago, you still remember it, don't you? Because words stick. They cut deeper than hands ever could. They replay in your mind when you're alone, they echo when you try to grow, and they whisper when you doubt yourself. That's why you cannot afford to ignore what a man says to you. The words he chooses are not background noise. They are the clearest picture of who he really is. Now here's the dangerous trap. Sometimes he'll try to cover those words with apologies. I didn't mean it. I was just mad. You know I love you. Don't fall for it. People reveal themselves in their unguarded moment. Anger doesn't invent new thoughts. It just frees the ones that were already there. If disrespect comes out of his mouth, it was living in him the whole time, and no amount of gifts, promises, or soft words after the fact can erase the truth of what he already showed you. Respect doesn't slip out by accident. Kindness doesn't stumble. Real love doesn't speak in daggers. If his words wound you, it's because that's the kind of person he is. And here's the key. You can't fix that with patience, loyalty, or sacrifice. You can't love a man into changing the truth of his heart. You can only listen when he tells you who he is through his words, and then protect yourself by walking away. So the next time a man says something that makes you feel small, weak, or unworthy, don't argue, don't try to prove him wrong, don't beg for him to see your value. Hear it, feel it, and then believe it. Because he already told you everything you need to know. And if you're brave enough to accept that his words reveal his character, you're strong enough to protect your peace and leave. You want to know the real test of a man's heart? Don't look at the gifts, don't count the promises, don't replay the moments when he was at his best. Listen to what comes out of his mouth when there's nothing to gain and nothing to lose. That's who he is. His words are the mirror of his soul, and if what you see in that mirror is darkness, cruelty, or disrespect, don't waste another second convincing yourself it's just a shadow. It's the truth. Words matter. His words matter, and your response matters even more. Believe the words he uses, because they're the truest version of him you'll ever get. And once you see it, don't question yourself, don't doubt your instincts, don't stay for the potential you hope he has. Walk away for the peace you deserve. Disrespect is not a mistake, it's not something you sweep under the rug, excuse with a tired smile, or write off as just a bad day. Disrespect is a choice, and when someone chooses it once, they'll choose it again. The moment a man disrespects you, that's not a warning, it's the whole message. It's him showing you exactly how low he's willing to treat you, and the most dangerous move you can make is to let it slide. Because what you tolerate, if you stay after disrespect, you're teaching him that you'll accept it, and from that moment forward the bar only drops lower. Disrespect is not something that fades away, it doesn't start and end with one sentence. It plants a seed, it grows. And the next time it shows up, it's bigger, bolder, more reckless, because now he knows he can get away with it. That's how it works. Small cuts turn into deep wounds. A subtle insult becomes open humiliation. What starts as a dismissive comment becomes a pattern that eats away at your dignity. Don't lie to yourself thinking you can handle it, that it doesn't bother you, that you're strong enough to take it. Strength is not about standing there while someone chips away at your soul. Strength is walking out the second your worth is questioned. You can't build love on disrespect. You can't build trust on disrespect. You can't build anything real on disrespect. It's like trying to build a house on sand. No matter how pretty the walls look, it will collapse because the foundation was never solid. And when a man shows you disrespect, what he's really telling you is that the foundation is already cracked. He doesn't see you as equal. He doesn't see your value. He doesn't see your dignity. And if he can't see it, he'll never protect it. Don't fall into the trap of giving him the benefit of the doubt. Don't convince yourself that maybe he didn't mean it that way. Disrespect doesn't need translation. It's clear, sharp, and undeniable. And when you feel it in your gut, trust that your intuition knows when something isn't right. Don't silence it just because you want to believe in his potential. Potential doesn't erase reality. And the reality is this: disrespect is non-negotiable. The truth is, people test you with their words and their actions. They want to know what they can get away with. The first insult, the first time he talks down to you, the first time he dismisses your feelings, that's the test. How you respond tells him everything about what's allowed. If you stay quiet, if you let it pass, if you keep showing up after it happens, then you've already answered the test. You told him disrespect is acceptable in your presence. And once that door is open, good luck closing it. Because people rarely rise to the level of respect you deserve. They fall to the level of disrespect you tolerate. Respect is not negotiable. Respect is the baseline. It's the floor, not the ceiling. You don't earn respect by proving yourself to someone, by bending over backwards to please them, or by being endlessly patient. Respect is the bare minimum that should be given to you the moment you walk in the room. And if a man can't meet that standard, he doesn't deserve your time, your love, or your presence. Think about the times you've been disrespected in the past. Didn't it always start small? A sarcastic joke at your expense, brushed off with "I was only kidding." A dismissive shrug when you tried to speak. A name, a label, a tone that stung but you let it go. And then it grew. It always grows. That's why the first sign matters so much. That's why you can't let even one moment of disrespect slide. Because the longer you stay, the deeper it roots, and the harder it becomes to pull yourself out. The world will give you enough battles to fight, you don't need to sleep next to one. A relationship should be your safe space, not your battlefield. And if the man beside you can't speak to you with respect, then he's not beside you, he's against you. And being against you disqualifies him from having access to you. Period. So here's the truth you need to hold tight. Disrespect doesn't need a second chance. It doesn't deserve forgiveness. It doesn't deserve patience. It deserves distance. The moment it shows up, that's your sign. That's the line in the sand. That's when you stand up, protect your worth, and walk away. Because the price of staying is always higher than the cost of leaving. And nothing is more expensive than your peace. Your self-worth is not up for debate. It's not something a man decides for you, it's not something his words or his approval can grant or take away. It's yours, built into you from the moment you came into this world. And the second you let someone's opinion chip away at it, you've already handed over power that doesn't belong to him. Protecting your self-worth means drawing a line so clear, so unshakable that no insult, no manipulation, no empty promise can cross. Here's the hard truth: men who try to tear you down don't do it by accident. They know exactly what they're doing. They know the fastest way to control you is not by force. It's by slowly convincing you that you're less than you are. One word at a time, one dismissive laugh at a dream, one cutting comment about your looks, one backhanded compliment that feels more like a slap. That's how it starts. He chips away at your image of yourself until you start believing his version of you instead of your own. And once you start believing him, you're no longer standing tall, you're standing in his shadow. That's why protecting your self-worth is not optional, it's survival. If you let his words rewrite the story of who you are, you'll start living life with chains on your spirit. You'll stop going after opportunities because he told you you weren't capable. You'll stop wearing what you love because he mocked it once. You'll stop speaking up because he made you feel small when you did. And one day you'll wake up and realize you're not even yourself anymore. You're just a reflection of his disrespect. That's the cost of not protecting your worth. But here's the fire you need to carry inside you. No one has the right to define you but you. Not your parents, not your friends, not a man standing beside you pretending to love you while breaking you with words. Your value doesn't come from his approval. Your beauty doesn't come from his validation. Your strength doesn't come from his recognition. You had it before he walked into your life and you'll have it long after he's gone. So when a man says something that shakes you, remember this. You are not what he says, you are what you choose to believe about yourself. And if you believe you are powerful, worthy, and enough, then no sentence, no insult, no degrading comment will ever have the power to take that away. His words may sting for a moment, but they won't stick, because your self-worth has a shield around it that cannot be broken. And yes, it takes courage to protect your worth, because protecting it means walking away when someone crosses the line. It means not explaining yourself to someone who refuses to see your value. It means leaving behind someone who may have pieces of your heart, but doesn't deserve the whole of you. It means putting your peace above his excuses. That's not weakness, that's strength. That's what it looks like to choose yourself over someone who chooses to break you. Think about the women who stayed too long, who allowed themselves to be talked down to, who believed the lies a man repeated over and over again. Where did it lead them? To smaller lives. To dreams abandoned. To pain carried silently. Don't be one of them. Don't trade your fire for someone else's comfort. Protecting your self-worth means refusing to let anyone shrink your light just because they're blinded by it. Every time you stand up for yourself, you reinforce your value. Every time you walk away from disrespect, you remind yourself you are worth more. Every time you choose silence instead of arguing with someone who doesn't see you, you reclaim your power. Protecting your worth isn't just about escaping the wrong people. It's about becoming the version of yourself that knows without doubt you deserve the right ones. So hear this and let it sink deep. Your worth is not negotiable. It doesn't go on sale. It doesn't shrink just because someone refuses to recognize it. The moment a man makes you question it, that's the moment you stand taller. That's the moment you decide not him. And if he can't handle the strength of a woman who knows her value, then let him go find comfort in someone else's weakness. Because you will never again be a place where someone comes to take and never give. Protect your self-worth like it's your lifeline. Because without it you'll bend until you break. With it you'll walk away from anyone who dares to see you as less than you are. And when you do, you won't just leave with dignity. You'll leave with freedom. Some things in life deserve second chances. Honest mistakes, small misunderstandings, moments where someone falls short but shows a heart that's willing to learn. But toxicity is not one of them. The moment a man uses words to poison your spirit, to cut at your dignity, to test how far he can go before you break, that's not a mistake, that's a blueprint. That's him showing you exactly what he's capable of. And if you let him slide, if you let that poison seep in once, it will grow. It will own every corner of the relationship until you can't breathe without inhaling it. That's why toxicity doesn't get second chances. Because the first time was already enough. People love to tell themselves stories. They say he didn't mean it. He was stressed. It was just one time. That's the trap. That's how toxicity gets its foot in the door. One moment of cruelty becomes two.
Two moments become a pattern. A pattern becomes normal. And before you know it, you're living in a cycle where pain is the language of love, and disrespect is the cost of staying. The truth is, you don't stop toxicity by forgiving it. You stop it by refusing to accept it at all. You've got to understand something: toxic words don't just bounce off you. They stick. They replay in your head at night. They echo in your silence. They shape how you see yourself. And every time you excuse them, you're letting someone else rewrite the story of your worth. That's why you can't give second chances to this kind of behavior. Because it's not about the moment, it's about the damage that grows long after the moment is over. The hardest part is this: toxic people are often charming right after they hurt you. They'll say sorry, they'll act sweet, they'll remind you of the good times. They'll paint a picture of change. But notice the cycle: it always takes disrespect to trigger the charm. The apology is bait. The promise is bait. It's how they reel you back in just long enough to break you again. That's why second chances don't heal toxicity, they feed it. Think about it like fire. If you see flames on the floor of your home, do you give them a second chance? Do you sit and wait to see if they'll go out on their own? No, you put them out, or you get out. Because you know if you let the fire spread, it will take everything with it. Toxic words are no different. They don't stay contained. They don't burn once and stop. They spread until they've scorched every part of your confidence, your peace, your freedom. And if you stay, you become the fuel that keeps it alive. This is where most people get trapped. They confuse patience with love, forgiveness with loyalty. But patience with toxicity is self-destruction. Forgiving words that cut your soul is the same as handing the knife back and hoping he won't use it again. That's not love. That's slow death. The only cure for toxicity is distance. The only medicine is walking away. And I know what you're thinking: what if he changes? What if he learns? What if this was the moment that wakes him up? Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But here's the thing: it's not your job to be the experiment. If he changes, it won't be because you tolerated the worst of him. It will be because he finally faced himself. And if he ever does that, good for him. But you don't have to sit in the fire hoping one day he'll put it out. Protect yourself first. That's your responsibility. The first time someone disrespects you, believe it. Don't dress it up. Don't downplay it. Don't disguise it as anything other than what it is. That's the truth staring you in the face. And if you're brave enough to accept it, you'll save yourself years of pain. The longer you stay, the harder it is to leave. The earlier you draw the line, the stronger you become. So when toxicity shows up, don't bargain with it. Don't manage it. Don't hope for better. Recognize it for what it is. A poison that will never stop spreading if you let it. One chance is all it takes to tell you everything you need to know. And if you walk away, then you walk away with your dignity intact. But if you stay, you'll keep shrinking yourself until there's nothing left. Never forget this: healthy love doesn't make you doubt yourself. Real respect doesn't make you second guess your worth. True care doesn't come wrapped in cruelty. If a man has to break you to keep you, he's not worth keeping. Don't give him the rope to pull you under. Don't hand him the tools to destroy your peace. Once is enough. Once is the truth. Once is your signal to leave. Toxicity doesn't need time. It doesn't need patience. It doesn't need forgiveness. It needs one thing: your exit. And the moment you choose that, you don't just walk away from him. You walk back to yourself. Your peace is the most valuable thing you will ever own. Not money, not status, not someone else's approval. Peace. Because without it, everything else crumbles. You can have love, but if it costs your peace, it isn't love. You can have success, but if it costs your peace, it isn't success. And you can have a man, but if his presence steals your peace, then you don't really have him, you've lost yourself. Protecting your peace means deciding that no argument, no relationship, no apology, no excuse is worth sacrificing the calm inside you. When a man uses words to tear you down, to belittle your spirit, to pull you into his chaos, he's asking you to trade your peace for his dysfunction. That's the deal on the table. And every time you stay, every time you argue, every time you try to change him, you're agreeing to that deal. But here's the truth: you don't have to sign it. You don't have to let anyone's anger, disrespect, or manipulation steal what belongs to you. Peace is yours. And once you understand that, you'll stop giving it away so cheaply. The reason so many people live in constant turmoil is because they don't guard their peace. They let anyone have access to it. They let toxic words enter their mind. They let chaos walk through the front door and sit at the dinner table. They think being strong means enduring it, when in reality, true strength is walking away. The second you realize your peace is at risk. Because here's the thing, when you lose your peace, you lose yourself. You become reactive, defensive, bitter. You stop hearing your own thoughts because the noise of someone else's disrespect drowns them out. And once that happens, you're no longer living. You're just surviving. Your peace is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's what allows you to think clearly, to make decisions, to grow, to love the right way. Without peace, you accept things you should reject. You cling to people you should release. You stay in places that are burning you alive just because you're too exhausted to fight anymore. And that's why your peace has to come first. Because without it, you'll settle for anything. With it, you'll demand everything you deserve. There's this lie people tell themselves: if I just hold on a little longer, if I just try harder, if I just keep the peace with him, things will get better. But keeping the peace with someone else at the expense of losing the peace within yourself is the fastest road to misery. That's not peace. That's surrender. That's letting someone else dictate your life while you slowly disappear. Real peace doesn't mean silence in the room. It means silence in your soul. And if a man can't bring that, if instead he keeps you on edge, keeps you doubting, keeps you walking on eggshells, then he's not a partner, he's a thief. He's robbing you of the one thing you cannot afford to lose. And here's the fire: you don't need to fight for your peace. You just need to choose it. Choosing peace looks like walking away when someone raises their voice to diminish you. Choosing peace looks like refusing to argue with someone who already decided not to understand you. Choosing peace looks like valuing your silence more than his noise. Choosing peace looks like leaving even when your heart is heavy, because you know your soul is lighter. Without him, the strongest move you'll ever make is prioritizing your peace over someone else's chaos. Because chaos is demanding. It begs for your attention. It wants you to fix it, to fight it, to feed it. But peace doesn't beg. Peace simply waits for you to choose it. And when you do, everything changes. You sleep better. You think clearer. You walk taller. You see your worth again. And once you taste it, once you feel what life is like when your peace is intact, you'll never again let anyone take it from you. So when a man says something that shakes your spirit, remember this: you don't owe him a response. You don't owe him an argument. You don't owe him another chance. You owe yourself your peace. And if that means walking away, then you walk away boldly, without hesitation, without apology, because nothing, absolutely nothing, is worth losing yourself over. At the end of the day, people will come and go. Words will be spoken and forgotten. But the only constant you have is you. And if you're not at peace with yourself, then nothing else matters. That's why your peace comes first. Always. Not when it's convenient. Not when everyone approves. Not when he finally learns to treat you right. Now. Always. Because your peace is your power. And once you guard it, no one can take it from you again. When a man shows you who he is through his words, believe, if his tongue spits poison, if his tone drips with disrespect, if his sentences slice into your worth, you don't wait around to see if he'll change. You walk, because every word he speaks is a mirror of his heart. And when that mirror reflects contempt, you don't need a second opinion. Disrespect is not a slip-up. It's a decision. Toxicity doesn't deserve patience. It doesn't deserve another chance. And it sure doesn't deserve your presence. Your worth is not negotiable. It doesn't shrink because someone refuses to see it. And your peace is everything. Without it, you lose yourself. With it, you rise. So the choice is always clear. When those 5 phrases come out of his mouth, don't explain. Don't beg. Don't fight. Stand tall, turn around, and leave. Because walking away is not weakness. It's the loudest, strongest, most unshakable declaration that you will never again settle for less than the respect, the dignity, and the peace you deserve.